Here's your SIG ticket for problem number 6. In order to take the 4th attempt on the SIG test problem, have this completed and bring it in. There's 3 of them for you to do, so let's do maybe a couple of them and see if we're good with it here. Let's see, we got Mr. Powers consumes 6.5% of his potato crop each week. He currently has 350 pounds of potatoes. Assuming he continues to eat his potatoes at this rate, how many pounds of potatoes will he have left in 6 weeks? There we go. So, as an exponential equation, we always start with our initial value. Our initial value here is 350 pounds, and that's going to go out in front of our equation. Inside the parentheses, we're going to put our multiplier, and then our exponent here is going to be the time. Now, when we're dealing with percent problems, remember this as a kind of a shortcut. We either have to add it to 100% or subtract it from 100%, depending on whether we're talking about increasing or decreasing something. In this case, we are talking about eating, and he's eating 6.5% of his potatoes. So we wouldn't want to add it. That would mean he'd be generating more potatoes. We're going to talk about subtracting from 100. So I take the 6.5%, I subtract it from 100%, and I end up with a number of 93.5%. And that just means at the end of each week, he has 93.5% of his potatoes left. Well, this percent we want as a decimal in our multiplier. So we take the decimal, we move it 2 places to the left, we drop that percent sign, and we end up with a 0.935 as a multiplier. Our time is going to go up here. So in this first problem, we were asked how many pounds of potatoes will he have left in 6 weeks. This is how much he eats each week. That's key to make sure that those are the same, both in terms of weeks. So we're talking about going 6 weeks down the road. At that point, we just go right to our calculator. I'm going to put that right here under the screen so you can kind of see what's happening from my calculator. 350. Then I use the parentheses there, 0.935. And we're going to raise that to the 6th power, or 6 weeks later. 233 pounds, and we'll go ahead and do 2 decimal places. So 233.85. All right. If we slide down here to question B, it says Mr. Powers harvested his potatoes 4 weeks ago. How many pounds of potatoes did he originally have? Now it says he currently has 350 pounds. So that still stays technically the initial value. He still eats and has been eating 6.5% of his potatoes, so we still use the same multiplier. What has changed in this equation is the time. We want to go back in time 4 weeks. This was going forward in time 6 weeks. To go back in time, we use a negative exponent, or -4 is what we'll end up punching on our calculator. Going back 4 weeks. So we should get an answer that's more than 350 pounds. So if I type again, 350 pounds, 0.935, and we raise that to the -4, going back in time 4 weeks, and there's that number that's bigger than 350, 457.9. 5, and that's a 5 because that 3 tells you to keep that 5 the same. Don't round up on that one. Okay, that concludes 6A. Let's go ahead and slide up to 6B. Still got Mr. Powers. Now we're going to talk about his weight. Eating all those potatoes is not good. In fact, he is gaining 0.9%, and since he's gaining, we are going to add that to 100%. Add 0.9 to 100 gives you 100.9%. That's his weight at the end of each week. Now he currently weighs 225 pounds, so we're going to grab that 225 and start our equation with it, the initial value. Our multiplier is going to go inside those parentheses. Remember, this is a percent, so we got to move that decimal 2 places. 1.009 is going to go inside our parentheses. And now let's check out what it asks. Assuming he continues to eat his potatoes and gain weight at this rate, how many pounds will he weigh in 1 year? Remember, this is how much he gains each week. So if this is weeks, your exponent has to be weeks. We can't put 1 right there. That would be 1 week. We need 1 year, which is 52 weeks. 52 weeks in 1 year. So we drop down to our calculator here and we type 225. And he's gaining weight at 0.9% each week, raised to the 52 weeks. Goodness gracious. 358 pounds. 0.5. There's where we're going to round up. That 2 becomes a 3 because of that 8. 358. Now we should be labeling these. I think I failed to do the previous problem. Pounds. And last question here on part B. How much did he weigh 3 weeks ago? So all the information stays the same. His current weight, how much he's gaining weight each week, but we want to go back in time, and 3 weeks ago would be -3 since that is weeks. And 1.09 is weeks. So last punch on our calculator here. Sorry, I forgot to hit the to the button. There it is, -3. And 219 pounds and 0.03. There we go. All right, you have one more to do there. Do part C, bring the rest of this in, completed, and earn your 4th attempt on problem number 6. Good luck.